It took 2,000 years to complete, and it stretches over 4,000 miles. In a recent worldwide poll, it was voted one of the world's greatest treasures. The Great Wall of China is a man-made miracle that unites over 1 billion people and more than 50 ethnic groups. It's a powerful national icon and supreme among the 7 wonders of China. The early construction of the Great Wall depended only on thin layers of earth, pressed firmly on top of one another. The defensive barrier only needed to withstand the onslaught of swords and spears. Emperor Qin's Great Wall ran along what was the country's first northern frontier. In the following dynasty, the Han, the Great Wall extended its reach into the Gobi Desert, responding to new areas of enemy attack. It was over a millennium later before the construction of the Great Wall took a great leap forward. The builders of the Ming Dynasty made a wall that was much bigger, grander, and stronger. They were desperate to repel a wave of Mongol attacks that were becoming ever more fierce and relentless.
There was a major raid in this area in 1550. Several thousands of Mongols got inside the wall. That was a devastating raid, 60,000 Chinese killed, 40,000 taken prisoner, several 100,000 head of livestock lost. And the Chinese response to that raid, or part of the response, was to rebuild the wall of stone and mortar, a lot like the mortar that you see right here.
The structure took shape over the years to incorporate passes, signal towers, and watchtowers, all designed to make the wall into an impenetrable defense barrier.
The watchtower that we're seeing here was part of a large project to build towers from the ocean to an area west of Beijing, starting in around 1569. The main purpose of the towers is to provide shelter from Mongol bows and arrows.
Watchtowers were the mainstay of China's defense strategy. Soldiers would keep a close watch from these lookout points and launch preemptive strikes. In the event of a raid, the Chinese had to mobilize troops instantly. They developed a signaling system that used the wall to communicate over vast distances in a matter of minutes.
Smoke and fire were the main methods used in the signal system. Smoke during day and a fire during night to show the amount of the enemy.
The number of the signals indicated the strength of the enemy. One signal would mean that there were 100 enemy soldiers approaching. 2 would mean 500, and 3, 1,000. 4 fires indicated an approaching army of 5,000. It's said that in extreme emergencies, wolf dung was added to the fire to make the smoke thick and black. To this day, the Chinese phrase wolf smoke means crisis. The Great Wall enabled rulers to communicate efficiently with faraway troops. Every day, thousands of people see the wall for the first time. It draws people from every corner of the earth who can say they set foot on the Great Wall. After 2,000 years, it still never fails to impress. This magnificent creation is the product of the collective effort of the Chinese people. It's a symbol of perseverance, endurance, and ultimately triumph. It united the country in its construction, and it continues to unite the people today as a reminder of their ancestors' achievements. One eye is 10 feet wide. 1 foot outstretches a human. 1 coil of hair is bigger than a dining table. You could park a bus on his shoulder. He is the largest statue of Buddha in the world and one of the 7 wonders of China. More than 1,000 years old, it was carved out of the sheer cliff by devoted followers, a task that took more than 90 years. The giant Buddha of Lishan draws more than 2 million people a year to stare up at its magnificence and worship at its colossal feet.
That's what we're waiting in line for, to catch the sights.
好像不可思议的，好像这没有可能这样。
你蹲着往上，人还只剩上半身。哦，只有人这一块。对。
看这个酒，几公升，大不多。就是摄像机太少了，焦距不行，大火很大。
The statue is a work of epic proportions. From head to toe, the Buddha is the length of a Boeing 747. A giraffe could fit in his ear. 50 soldiers could stand in rank across his lap. The Statue of Liberty only reaches up to his shoulder. And even Yao Ming, the Chinese basketball star, is shorter than his finger. The statue has stood on the riverbanks watching over the turbulent waters for over a millennium. Life in Lishan has always revolved around the river and its traffic, carrying people and goods to and from the ancient market town. Even today, there are strong ties with the waterways. But there's been one change. The river is safer than it used to be. The waters were once notoriously treacherous, capsizing many boats and taking lives. Some people even believed that the cause of such tragedies was an evil river monster that lurked beneath the surface. According to legend, the waters only became calm when the Buddha was built. The man responsible for the creation of this statue was a monk named Master Haitong. Master Haitong was a compassionate and devoted Buddhist monk of the early 8th century. An abbot of the Lingyun Monastery of Lishan, he was greatly troubled by the constant loss of lives his community suffered as a result of the dangerous river. He wanted to find a permanent, surefire way to protect his people from the treacherous currents, and came up with a wildly ambitious plan. He decided to build a giant Buddha statue that would overlook and bless the most deadly parts of the waters.
The visitors who come here and learn about his story are all deeply humbled and touched by his commitment to the project.
It's said that the rocks dislodged from the cliff during the building of the statue plunged into the river and tamed the currents. Lishan has 3,000 years of history and has been deeply influenced by Buddhism. Nearby is Mount Imei, one of 4 sacred Buddhist peaks in China, and the location for over 100 temples and ancient religious structures. For Buddhists, it's long been a pilgrimage site. For tourists, it's a popular trek that allows people to experience the natural and man-made beauty along the mountain slopes. All along the awe-inspiring journey are ancient relics that tell the story of Chinese Buddhism.
我想为大家仔细讲解一下这个地方，因为这个大佛，而我们看到这个景点的话，叫做兜率宫释迦牟尼佛祖的继承人，我们说他是未来佛祖，也是三世佛祖。
Where the cliffs are too steep for buildings, statues and Buddhist carvings decorate the trail. Figures dug into the rocks hundreds of years ago give a glimpse into the area's long history as a holy destination. Leading down a sacred cliff is a perilous ancient stairway carved into the rocks. Known as the 9-turn plank road, the stairs hug the steep rock face and take people on a winding route to the foot of the most impressive sight of all. And it's here, that visitors get to do the one thing they come for: hugging the Buddha's leg. There's an old Chinese saying, to hug the Buddha's leg at the last minute, which describes people who only wait until a crisis looms to show their devotion. Judging from the flocks of people hugging the statue's leg, it seems like there's a whole host of last-minute prayers this Buddha has to answer. The giant Buddha of Leshan stands tall as a wonder of China. Each day, the statue welcomes crowds of worshippers drawn to its compassionate gaze, as well as curious tourists, eager to be awestruck by this colossus.
Again, I think this is a great piece of art and something that should be looked at with awe, because for them to achieve such heights with even the toes and the intricacy and the grandness of this is really inspiring, and really, it makes you wonder and appreciate how much we have today and everything that the technology and how far it has gone. It just makes you stand back and look in awe.
Due to the statue's incredible size, maintaining its appearance is a full-time job, involving coordination and the dedication of many people, not to mention many safety ropes. However, only 6 years since a multi-million-dollar facelift took place, the statue is again showing serious signs of damage. Although nearby factories have been shut down, smokestacks from further away continue to pollute the air. Now, experts believe that the Buddha's nose and ears may eventually fall off from the corrosive and endless onslaught of acid rain. Experts are battling against time and the elements to maintain the magnificence of the statue, desperate to ensure what we see today and in the future does justice to the creator's vision.